yeah, there it is.
All right.
All right, let's wait a little bit here. See how many people come in here.
Yep. Who do we have right now? Daisy? Hi, Daisy. Hi, Aiden.
Hello, Daisy. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi. What? You don't like my tinfoil hat?
No, yeah.
Come on.
So,
Can't be talking about UFOs.
are we doing UFOs just because of the storming Area 51, or just because?
I would know, just because. I mean, we've been getting we've been seeing actually a lot of strange things up in the air lately here in the Central Valley, as close as, or as a matter of fact, yesterday in the evening, going out to Fresno.
Hello, John.
We saw
Welcome.
what's, I mean, it looked like a shooting star, but that was no shooting star. It was too close, and if it would have been a shooting star, that thing would have caused a fire. That thing came down fast, and it was very close to the mountains. A lot of people would have seen it. Whoa.
Well, hold on, we're having issues with the camera, so just a minute here. There's a delay, so
Right there.
We good?
No.
hold on.
Cause
Sorry.
in the video.
Thanks, John. You like the hat?
Yeah.
Look good?
Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's because it's still adjusting. Welcome, Ronnie. Yeah, we can't see the TV. Go up.
Go up a little bit. Leave it. We'll leave it there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Can't see it anymore.
So going back to what we saw yesterday, headed to Fresno.
Everybody needs one, John?
No, this is just mine. My kids wanted one too. I said no, just me. That was strange.
Yeah, the
Dude.
one we saw, the one we saw yesterday was kind of strange. I saw the ending. You saw more of it than I did. That you said it was like a cylinder.
It was like a cylinder. Yes, it was like a straight cylinder, just coming down fast.
Yeah.
And it had a blue trail.
Put it down a little bit.
A blue trail.
Just a little bit.
And I mean, we've seen shooting stars. Don't get me wrong, but those usually, come down pretty fast, and you can see the trail, and you can tell it's a shooting star. But this thing came down straight, a straight 90-degree angle down.
Yeah.
And it was so close that if it would have been a shooting star, it would have probably caught something on fire, or
the mountain. Yeah.
we would have known.
Yeah.
It was so close.
Yeah, lately there's been a lot of stuff going on here in the valley. There's been some lights, a couple nights ago, I saw some red lights, and I thought I recorded it on my phone, and I didn't get it. I do have a picture, but you can barely see the red light. But it was a bunch of red strobing lights, so I'm thinking maybe military, but there was a bunch, and it was pretty wide. And one strobe red light would go, and then another would go, and all these other ones would go. So there was a bunch of, if it was military, there was a bunch of jets pretty close together. But they all headed in one direction, towards the southwest. But that was a couple nights ago. I know there's an air show in Lemoore. The Lemoore Naval Air Station was having the base was having an air show today, right?
Yeah, today.
So I don't know if it was part of that, maybe practicing or whatever. But I didn't hear any engine noise, which was weird when I saw him. Hello, Heiko, welcome. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, and then a lot of falling stars, I've been seeing a lot of falling stars this week, and also some lights I've been noticing. I don't know if I don't think it's a satellite. I know what satellites look like, but this one is lower, because the one that I saw a couple nights ago, this one was lower. It was coming from the west, and you can see there was a plane, and this is at night, so you can see there was a plane above it. So it was in our atmosphere. It was lower altitude. It was just a constant bright white light. At first, I thought it was a star, but then I saw it moving like one direction, going towards the east, and it just stayed bright white. There was no strobe lights on it, and then it finally dimmed out and disappeared. So, I mean, I don't think it was reflecting the sun. I don't. If it was, I mean, I was seeing it from the east side of that object,
The opposite
the
side.
opposite from the sun. The sun was already going down, so it was pretty dark, but you could still see a little bit of light from the sun. But you know, it was bright from the opposite side of the sun, so it was bright on the east.
So it should have been
side
bright on the west side,
yeah,
not
right,
the east
exactly.
side.
Not because I'm looking at it from the east.
So it's an emitting light.
So yeah, and then it dimmed out once it came over here towards the mountains. It started
And it
dimming out
should've-
and it disappeared. So I don't think it was a satellite.
No.
I don't know what that was. It didn't have any strobe lights, and that's the second time I've seen it in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, the same, and it was the same path, but it was coming. The first time I saw it, it was coming from the southwest, and this one was coming more from the west. The second one.
And you see, a couple days ago, after dropping off my kids from school, going back home, and I noticed this shiny object up in the sky. I looked at it for a little bit to try and figure out if it was a airplane, a balloon, but what really caught my attention was that it wasn't neither. It resembled more of a top shape, but unfortunately, I was driving at the moment and I couldn't pull over and take pictures or videos because there's construction near where I noticed it. So I figured, hey, since I'm really close to home, once I get home, I'll go ahead and park and look up in the sky, and if it's still there, I'll start recording. Unfortunately, when I got home, it was gone.
Yeah.
But what I was telling Javier also is, I mean, what could it have been? I mean, it looked like a top. It was stationary, meaning that it wasn't moving in a particular direction, but it was. If I'm looking, if I'm going back to where I saw it, it's kind of near, or it's in the area of Lemoore, Kingsburg, that area there, and we do know that there is.
So you're close to the Kings River.
Yeah,
So
but it's more in that area that way, going towards Lemoore. So I mean, is it more towards that area? But since it's so high up, we're able to see it from where we're at.
yeah, I don't.
I mean, it's hard to really understand where or comprehend as to where it's at, because I mean, they're so high up in the sky.
Yeah.
And then we're accustomed to seeing airplanes fly by. Why? Because the airport's so.
Yeah, and my house is like right on the path of going into Fresno's international airport. So I got all these planes going over the house all the time. So, I'm always looking at the sky during the day, and I'll tell you a story that happened to me. I believe it was at the beginning of the year, and I do have some footage, but it's not that great. But I'll tell you the story. But I just want to say hello to Brown Dwarf. Thanks for coming in. If you guys can share this out, please share it out. If you guys, so we can get some more people in here, if you can please do that for us. Appreciate it. Yeah. So this object, I was washing the car in the morning. This was about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was just gonna clean the tires, and I'm always looking up. I'm always looking up at the sky, and it was early in the morning, so it was around 9 o'clock. So I look up and I noticed this reflection, like a metallic. It was reflecting the sun. So that caught my eye right away, and then I'm thinking, okay, it's a plane. But then I'm looking at it, and it's just moving very slow. So it's coming from the northwest, heading our direction to going southeast. So I'm looking at it. It's moving real slow, and it almost seemed like it was turning,
And like spinning.
Okay, and it was oval. It was like an orb, but it was metallic because it was reflecting the sun. So the sun was on the west side. I mean, on the east side. So it was reflecting the sun, and every so often it would go bright and then it would go away, right? And you can tell it was turning. And so I'm looking at it. I get my phone. I start recording it, and I'm trying to zoom in all the way. I mean, it gets all distorted, you know, when you when you zoom in. Yeah, the full zoom. So I'm trying to get the best footage I can. I'm on it, and then I decide, you know, I need to call my cousin because it's going towards his direction, so he can start recording it from where he's at, you know, from the other side of town. So I had to stop recording. I called him. He didn't answer, so I had to get back. You know what happened when I was calling him? I called him like a few times so he can answer, so I could tell him. And during that time, I'm watching it, and this thing, guys, it morphed. Okay, it opened up like this, and it dropped another spear. Okay, it dropped it. You can see it falling, and then it stopped, and it started going the opposite direction. So, you know, I was thinking it was metallic, but those metallic balloons.
Yeah, the mylar balloons.
Yeah, those. I was thinking it was that. You know, too. So then I go, well, if it's not balloons now because this one's going the opposite direction, and this one's keep going. It's still going on its southeastern course. And this one was going straight towards Avocado Lake.
So it's going in opposite directions.
Yeah, it's going opposite directions.
It's not a balloon.
Yeah, but this thing morphed, and then it morphed back into a sphere, and then the other one took off that way at the same pace as the other one, and they're going this way. They were all splitting. This one's going that way, and this one's going this way. It was like, what? And of course, I didn't capture that. You know, I was trying to get a hold of my cousin. Of course, it happened when I stopped recording.
Yeah.
But I do have it on video. You can barely see like the reflection, and I'm talking. I'm explaining to you what's going on. I haven't put it out there yet because it's not the greatest. Maybe I will. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll put it. I don't know. Adolf, welcome. Hope you're feeling better.
Hello, Brown Dwarf, John, Adolf, and should we talk about that report that we got out there in the orchards? Not in the orchards, but in the vineyards.
Oh, yeah. So this was last September. Last September, my father-in-law was delivering some trees out here just outside of town, just north of us, to a vineyard. And they had told him, well, he had noticed, because when he went to deliver these trees to the vineyard, he had noticed that some of these vineyards were like, some of these rows were taken up, or they were falling over in the middle of the vineyard. They were falling over, and he told the guys, "Oh, you guys are going to replant." And one of the workers said, "No." And he said that a UFO came this weekend. Well, some lights were over the vineyard, and it did this. And my father-in-law was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, and the guy told him some lights, and it was real windy. It was real windy, and it was a lot of heat, and he said that people felt it. There's a liquor store about a quarter of a mile away from that vineyard, and they said that they saw the lights, and it was all this wind, and they felt the heat from a quarter of a mile away at that store. They were feeling all that heat. So what's funny is that night it wasn't. We were in Fresno, which is about 30 minutes away from where we live. And that night, you know, I heard that the power had gone out here in town.
Yeah.
And I think in another town and half of another town, the power went out. So when we got back into town, we noticed that there was a windstorm that came through here because everything was all over the road, all the debris from the trees. So something had gone, you know, it was like a windstorm.
Like a windstorm, yeah.
So that was that night. So then on Monday, I heard the story about that, you know, that these guys had seen the lights. And so, you know, I heard about the story. My father-in-law told me the story. So I went out, I think the next day, which was on Tuesday, to figure out where this place was. And we went out there.
Yeah, we went out there.
And we found out where it was at. So we get to this location. And right away, we pull over to the side, and there's another row of vineyards alongside the road. but all these vineyards were like sliced. All of them were cut like a clean slice, like the trunks were all, even the poles
Yeah, even the poles that
were
hold
all
the vines.
sliced, all the way, almost the whole row. Which
Well, we counted like 50,
about 50, yeah.
50 vines of healthy
Yeah, there were
grapes.
healthy vines, and you know, you can say it was a car accident, but there's no, there was no, there was
No tire
no evidence of
tracks.
tire tracks, no evidence of debris from the car, and these vines are all, there's wire going through them. So, um, if it was a car, I mean, I don't think it would have sliced all of these vines, and then
No
it's
way.
pretty far away too. There's 50 trees, and it almost, we took pictures. It's just hard to see on the TV, but we noticed that the grass was all flat.
It wasn't broken.
It wasn't broken. It was all flat, like something came down and flattened it. It was all flat along the road, like along the vineyard, right?
Yeah. And then across the street, we also noticed evidence of something scorching the vegetation. It was dry. It was dead. There was broken branches, and it just makes sense as to what we were hearing from the people that experienced it. We also got there and we spoke to one of the ranch hands.
Yes.
He was working out there, and we asked him, "Hey, what happened here?" And he said, "Well, there was a very strong windstorm that passed through here." He was very reluctant to talk about it.
Yeah, he was. I asked him, in Spanish. It's like I heard something. You had some incident with these vines out by the road and inside the field, because it was, it was outside by the road, and then there was another section, but it was inside the vineyard. So, and I told him, well, I heard a story about some lights or something coming through here and doing this damage.
Yeah.
And he just smiled, and he really. Well, I told him it was like a tornado, right?
Yeah,
I think I said a tornado. I heard a tornado came through here and ripped some vines apart, and I just wanted to get some pictures. And the guy just kind of smiled at me, and he said, "No, it wasn't. It wasn't a tornado," but he didn't say it was.
Yeah,
it was lights either. He didn't say. He just said it wasn't a tornado. It was just. He didn't really say. He just said, "Just go. It's over there by the road," and then we had some in the field. But he told me that by that time that we went, they already had picked up the ones in the middle of the field. They had taken that whole row out.
Yeah. So how do you get broken vines in the middle of the field?
Yeah, that's the only. I was thinking of tornado, but if it's a tornado, I would think it would take them up and get the roots out, right?
Yeah.
It would pull them out, not
not
slice them. These things are sliced, and I don't know if you can see it in the video. Yeah, it's too hard to see.
Yeah, it's too hard.
But
we'll probably do like a slideshow.
Yeah.
Upload them.
Yeah, probably upload them or something. But we do have pictures. We do have pictures of the grass all flattened out, and it's all along the road, and it's all one direction, across the street, like you said.
The scorched vegetation.
Yeah, there was some some big shrubbery, and the branches are all scorched, like it's burned, and some of them were broken down.
Yeah.
Like something came down.
Something heavy came down on them and just broke them.
Yeah.
Not snap them, just broke them. Burnt the side of the vegetation, and then where it's burnt, you would see right next to it, and it was perfectly green.
Yeah, the next rows over, they were fine, but like I don't know if you can see it, but those vines that were sliced, the leaves were like crisp. They were already crispy, and it was only been a couple of days.
Yeah,
and then it wasn't that hot that day. I mean, it was a little humid, but it wasn't that hot for those leaves to be like crispy. They were like toasted.
Yeah, they were.
It's like, even though it was about at least 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah. It
was like way crispy, like something burned it. Like it burned it. And you can see it on some of the poles. You can see some charred, like something like a laser or something. Like a laser came and just sliced it or something.
It was strange. It was very strange.
Yeah. And then so with that story, so you had that going on that night, They said they saw the lights over the vineyard. They felt a heat, like a extreme heat, and then a transformer blew about a mile. The next street, no, 2 streets over, a transformer blew within that area, that same area, and then there was a call about a propane tank was leaking about half a mile from that vineyard, from his house. The propane tank started leaking, so the fire department had to go out there and check everything. And my brother was on that call, and he said that he noticed when he got to that house, he noticed was it the sheet metal? Is it there was a barn, and it had a metal siding.
Oh, okay, the metal siding.
Yeah, I guess it's sheet metal. I guess I don't know what you call it. I forgot what you call it. But anyways, he noticed that it was all on the floor, and he asked the owners that, what happened here? And he goes, I don't know what this wind. Like, all of a sudden, all this the siding came off. So
I mean, and that's
and
not
it's all yeah.
and that's not common for our area
No,
here.
it's not. No, it's not. So it's all within this one area. All it's all happening within this one area.
Yeah,
So
of the incident.
yeah,
or the report,
yeah. So something happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, but something did happen. Something came down, and something looks like it came down because of the grass. It almost looks like those crop circles.
Yeah, when they're
flattened out.
when the vegetation is just carefully folded over.
Yeah.
And not broken or damaged in any way.
We did try to go into the vineyard, but the guy said they had picked it up already, so we couldn't go in there.
But how many rows was it? Like 3 rows?
It was like 3 rows. And this is inside the middle of the vineyard. So, I mean...
So, what would you say 3 rows is equivalent to what, about 15, 20 feet maybe? Or,
the length?
Yeah, the length?
20, no, more.
Probably more?
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty long rows. Yeah. I don't know. 40 feet.
40 feet?
Yeah.
So...
They're long rows. Who's in here? Hello, Sissy. Hello, Belle. Welcome. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what... Something happened.
It's just so crazy. All of a sudden, we're seeing more reports. Linda Moulton how she was talking on her show about
I don't know if you guys seen that
the Iran incident with the drone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
Saudi Arabia. They attacked Saudi Arabia, right?
It
was Saudi Arabia. Well, the one that you're talking about. Oh, it was a UFO.
The UFO.
Yeah.
They kept on trying to.
So there's a video that Linda Moulton Howe put out this week, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
And in that footage, it's like almost like a
boomerang.
Like a boomerang, yeah, I guess you could say.
Yeah, boomerang.
A boomerang, flying object, and the Iran military is firing at it, and you can clearly see it in the video. So go check that out. I mean, that's a trip, and you can see like the artillery, the bullet, it hits it and it ricochets.
Yeah,
and it's still going. So you need to go check out that.
And it's like taunting them too, huh?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it goes out and then comes back in like, hey, again. Yeah, keep shooting at me. Look, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
So heck,
you guys need to go check that out. Go check that video out. It just came out a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and it's weird because now that Saudi Arabia was attacked. The oil field was attacked with drones. So I don't, something's going on.
Something is going on.
And now we're seeing a bunch of stuff here in the valley. So I
mean, we're pretty good at looking up in the sky. I mean, we're always. No, we're curious. We like to see what's up there and what's going on.
It's your boomerang, Matt.
I mean, we don't necessarily just stick to cryptids, Bigfoot, or whatnot here in the valley. I mean, we like to be in the mix with everything. We just don't like to get political. That's one thing I don't like, because I mean, I don't understand it very well. I mean, I got my opinions, I got my points of view, but I mean, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, we'll stick with the UFO.
The cryptids. Yeah. Who?
222 mission. Welcome. Again, guys, if you guys can share this out, would be great.
Where is she?
We appreciate it. If you guys can do that, please. Thank you.
Hi, Yossi. Thank you.
Hello, welcome. So yeah, so the triangles. We've been seeing triangles here.
Yeah, we have seen.
Uh,
Do you want to talk about that old report of them? I supposedly a crashed triangle here in the Central Valley.
well, yeah. You can find it on YouTube. There's a black triangle that crashed back in the. I think it was the early 2000s. I think. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was a black triangle that crashed in one of the mountains north of Fresno. It was a black triangle that crashed. You can find the YouTube. The video's out there. You just look it up. Black triangle crash, Fresno, California. And yeah, there was a triangle that crashed, and these people actually recorded that, lived out in that area. They recorded it.
Yeah.
And it was in the evening. It was already getting dark. This craft, they saw it was a triangle. It was having problems. You can see it was having some electrical problems, and it was hovering over close to the mountain, and all of a sudden it came down on the side of the mountain. And these people actually recorded it, and after that, they put it on YouTube. But after they put it on YouTube, they were having problems. They were having people, these white vehicles were following them around. They were having their dog had gotten run over. They were having some bad luck after that. They posted that video, and they had to take it down. And I think they ended up moving. So yeah, I mean, it could be it could be a military secret, craft that we have, but I don't know. We don't know. I mean, the black triangles that I saw back in '87, all I can tell you is they were low. They had the 3 white lights in each point. In the middle, there was a red light, and there was 2 crafts. And they were together. They were flying, hovering. They were moving really slow. They went over us, but there was no noise. So, if our government has crafts that don't make any noise, or back in the '80s, I mean,
that was way ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's way ahead. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen anything come out. Well, a TR-3B.
That we know it now as a TR-3B.
We know it as a TR-3B, but was that what I saw? It doesn't look similar. I mean, obviously, it's probably changed over the years.
Yeah.
But I want to see that craft, and I want to see if it makes noise.
Yeah.
If it makes noise, then it wasn't what I saw. Because this thing did not make any single noise, anything, nothing, no sound. They went right over us. And there was 2 of them.
Yeah.
So there was no noise, nothing. So I don't know. The Area 51's on the other side of this hill.
Hey, and now thinking about it, where I saw that light, isn't it near the avocado area?
Yeah, it's avocado area.
So now, what a coincidence that we have unidentified flying objects around that area.
Yep. And
there's something going on there, definitely.
Yeah.
That we don't know or understand yet, and hopefully,
North County, welcome.
I wanna say I would like to get close, but not too close where we get ourselves into trouble.
Right.
And I mean,
cupcakes, welcome. Yeah. So, it's by North Avocado Lake area, all that, and there's been orbs seen over there. Yeah. Supposedly gray aliens have been seen over there. It's like the grays, triangles. Everything's like in that area,
Yeah.
Like that's why I call it the Cryptid playground, because everything's over there. Like it's
a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, it's attracting everything over there, or it's coming from there. I don't know.
We have the dam, which produces electricity.
Right.
So we have those big power lines.
Right. And then the river. We got the Kings
Yeah,
River.
we
We got
Kings
water,
River.
water source. And then you got those rock quarries again. So it's like, and all these hot spots.
Like little by little, it kind of like makes sense, right?
Yeah.
We start piecing together.
Yeah, it's just like, it makes you wonder. It's like, what? Some might be connected. It's like, Well, then there was another um, my mom and my brother were coming back from Fresno, coming down 180,
Mm-hmm.
and by that rock quarry again. That's by Snake Road. By that rock.
Snake Road. It just gives me the chills every time you talk about Snake Road, man.
So they were coming down there, right by that rock quarry. My brother and my mom noticed this orb.
Mm-hmm.
It was multicolored. It was changing so many colors. He said it came out of the field. There was a cattle. There's a cattle ranch there next to that rock, across the street from that rock quarry. Well, not now because they're putting in a new freeway. But there was before that there was a cattle farm right across the street from the rock quarry.
Was it that Fuji Farms?
The Fuji Farms, yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
Okay, so it came out of that field, right? So it was an orb, and it was hovering over the field, but it was also, my brother said it was dripping like molten metal. Like it looked like it was dropping molten metal, and then it went over into like the quarry side, out by the river, and then it went up and it disappeared. But it was dripping. He said you can see it dripping.
Yes.
Like molten, like metal,
molten metal.
yeah. So that's around that area again. So that's by the rock quarry, by Snake Road, power lines out there. Right there, we lose reception. There's something there because we lose reception.
Yeah.
Every time we're on our phones, when you cross there.
You know what? Yeah, I've never, really understood why, and it's always that area
And
there.
it's that area right there.
Isn't it like
a dead zone?
It's
like
like
a dead
private
zone.
property you can't see on Google Maps, right?
Google Maps.
Well, one time I went on Google Maps and I was looking on that area, the rock quarry, because I was just checking it out on Google Maps, and there was on the Google Maps it was like how do you call it, like
it has the swirls.
No,
the circles?
it was like covered up. It was like
you can't see it.
You can't see what was there. They were covering it up for some reason. There was a section back in that quarry that was just covered up. Like you can tell that they didn't want you to see what was there.
Yeah.
Which was weird because I don't know. You can tell that it was covered up on purpose. Like they don't want you to see what's back there. So that makes you wonder too. And the same thing with the Pictograph Mountain. I went on there to check that area out because we were researching that area.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I have a screenshot of it in my old phone. I'm gonna have to get it, but there was a certain area up in that mountain that was covered up. They didn't want you to see.
Why?
I don't know.
Other than us being up there and seeing, like, what are they called? Molcajetes?
Yeah, where they used to grind the.
Okay, molcajetes and the pictographs. There's nothing else there.
I don't know. Maybe we didn't see it. I don't know. We didn't see what they were covering up.
But your last video, dude, the last picture you posted of that outline figure gave me the chills. Really gave me the chills because when we went up there initially, there was nothing there. I didn't notice it.
Nah, I didn't. I don't remember seeing it. We went through there. We didn't go there. Me, Alan, and Adolf, we entered through another area last time. Mm-hmm. The very first time we went, we entered through a different area. And then we entered through opposite. And I think that area, it looks more
promising.
Yeah, more promising. More there's something there coming in and out.
Yeah, because what a coincidence that there's a crew of workers that are ready to start their day, and all of a sudden there's something there. Heck no, we're not gonna go. Yeah.
So I just found out a little bit more information on that this last video that I posted. So I know which orchard it was. It was the orchard closer to the road that they were gonna pick. But it's straight. It's a straight line towards that area
where we were.
Yeah, where we entered. So it's just a straight shot. So it's just down the avenue. So I'm working on finding the gentleman or the guys that saw this, whatever they saw. And my dad's actually gonna try to pin them down. So we can talk to them. Get some information.
That'll probably be our follow up next live stream, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
So anything else on UFOs?
No, I mean, at least on my end, let's be diligent and look up to the sky because there's a lot of strange things um, flying over us that we're really not seeing because we're so into our phones. I mean, I catch myself most of the time on my phone, but I really like to look up and see these strange things. Okay, because it's not just me. I mean, I've experienced stuff with my son, and he's seen stuff where he's asking me, "Hey, what is that?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. It could have been a helicopter beaming a beam of light to the street, but where's the helicopter?"
Yeah, you told me about that one.
And every time he'll ask, "Hey, did you see that strange light?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, well, look up. I'm like, well, I'm driving. How am I supposed to look up if I'm driving? So I mean, he's starting to look up too, point things out. Most of the times, it ends up being an airplane. We do occasionally see those strange drones. The other day, well, not the other day, but about a month ago, we did see a strange airplane.
Yeah, it's a. I guess it's a surveillance plane.
Like a surveying airplane for the railroads.
I don't know.
Well, it said it was for the railroads.
But it's just it comes out of Fresno. When I see it, it's coming out of Fresno, going over Sanger, and then it goes over our small towns here, and it just circles for about 15 minutes. And this craft has two bright white lights just blinking. And then when you're right under it, there's a third white light, and it almost looks like a triangle.
So it's easy to misidentify.
Yeah, so if you're right under it, there's another third white light, and with these other blink, it makes a triangle. But once it moves off, it goes away from you, it goes back to those two.
Those two blinking lights?
Yeah, but it's just two white lights. And it's always circling around for like 50 minutes, and then it goes to another town. You can see it go to the other town, circle around. I guess it's surveillance plane, I guess. I don't know what they're doing.
Or a survey plane? Surveying the areas? Maybe the maps?
Well, remember that one time when I was playing with a flashlight and got those blinks back?
Oh, that's right.
Which one was that?
When we were out there with Gabe.
I was playing
Oh,
with
yeah, we gotta talk about those. The flashes of, the flashes
That's a good
of
one, babe. Thank you.
So, Squatch in Alabama, welcome. Squatch Zone, welcome.
Hi.
How's it going, Alan? Hope you feel better. And those flashes of white light. So I don't know if anybody in the chat has ever seen these, but this was last year. We were noticing these flashes of light. Okay, and I don't know if it's a satellite. I don't know. I just don't know. So what happened was we're looking up, we're sky watching, and all of a sudden we see a flash. Okay, we see a flash. It's almost like somebody's taking a picture from the sky.
Yeah.
So it's a bright flash, and then it goes away. And then a couple seconds later, flash again, but it's moved, right?
Yeah.
It's moved. And a couple minutes later, another flash, bright light, and it's gone. So it's moving, and it's going to the south. It was going to the southeast again. Southeast direction.
It was kind of zigzagging.
It was zigzagging?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was kind of zigzagging.
But it's going that way, though.
Yeah.
So then, but it started dimming out. The flash wasn't as strong as it was going, right?
Yeah.
So it started dimming out until we didn't see it anymore. So then, that was that night. So then, the following week, me and my cousin, we go up to 180 up here, and he wanted, I was telling my cousin about these flashes of light that we saw the other day, and he wanted to go out there, he wanted to see them, and he wants to see a UFO, It's like, okay, so we go out there and see if we see anything. And that's the video that I did about the flashing white lights. I did a video on it. We were up there on 180. And so we get there. We're there about, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And we see like falling stars here and there. Some traffic, not very busy, passing by because we got off on a turnout. So we're out there just sky watching. You can see the whole valley. And it was at night. It was about 10:30 at night. And so we're up there. and all of a sudden, after 15 minutes, I catch it. I see it, and it's right above us. It's a big old flash, like somebody's taking a picture. And I tell my cousin, there it is, right there. So we're both watching it, and again, it flashes and it goes up, and then all of a sudden, I see a car coming. This is where it gets weird. I see a car coming in, and it's gonna park right behind us, and I don't even know where this car came from because I didn't even see it coming up the road. All of a sudden, as soon as we saw that, we noticed it. Here comes this car, and it was coming close to behind our truck, and I was right here behind the truck and on the towards the back of the vehicle. My cousin was closer to the middle of the vehicle, and this guy was coming, and he wasn't stopping. He's like, dude, you're gonna hit my truck. So I flashed him with my flashlight, like, dude, stop, you're gonna hit my truck. And I was telling my cousin, hey, this guy almost hit the truck. And my cousin was looking at the lights, and he goes, there's a guy here? He goes, yeah, there's a car here? And he goes, yeah, there's a car right here. What does he want? So he's asking me, what does he want? I don't know. So I'm looking at the guy. He has his headlights on, right? But I can see he's like this on the driver's side. And he has a hat, almost like the old, what do you call them? Fedora hats?
Fedora?
Like a fedora hat. But I can see the silhouette of him. I can't see his face. It's all black.
Like the doctor from Project Blue Book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what came to my mind. Yeah. That's how he was dressed. But he was like this, and I was going like, what's up? Because he has his lights on me. I go, what's up? What do you need? What's going on? You need something? He was just like this. He didn't move anything. He was just straight. And I turned to my cousin. I go, look, this guy. I don't know what's going on with this guy, dude. He doesn't move. I don't know what he wants. So when I looked at my cousin, he actually ended up backing up and making a U-turn. So, and during that time, I could see there was only one person in the car, but I couldn't see him. I could just see, like, it was dark. He was, like the outline of him, right?
Like a silhouette.
A silhouette. So then he made a U-turn, went back down the mountain. I was watching it. My cousin was over here with the light, monitoring that. And I was just watching this car, and he ended up, going down the mountain until his lights disappeared. So then, I'm going. By that time, I tell my cousin, "Where's it at?" He goes, "Oh, it's over there, but you can barely see it now. It's almost disappearing. It's not as bright anymore." So then I told him about the guy. He's like, "Man, this was weird. I don't know. That was a weird incident, It's like this. I don't know where this guy came from. As soon as we saw this light, this guy was almost
right behind you.
Yeah, right behind us. So then I told my cousin, if that car comes back, we're gonna take off. So I got a bad feeling from that.
Yeah, from that. You get that bad vibe.
Yeah, exactly. So here comes, so I'm looking down the mountain, down the road, and we're just out there looking around to see if we see it again. Those flashes of white light.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I see those lights coming up the mountain again. I go, dude, all right, here comes a car. And if it's this guy, we're taking off. So this car ends up going off on a turnout down below.
Mm-hmm.
So he pulls out on the turnout, and I go, dude, I bet you it's that guy, whatever, this car again. He's watching us. It's like, okay, so if he gets back in the road and he comes back up, we're gonna get in the car and we're gonna take off. So we had stuff to protect ourselves, but we don't want to go to that, we don't know what this guy, we don't want to be like that, We just don't know up there, you're up and there's nobody up there, there's nothing up there, there's no lights, it's dark.
And you mentioned also that there was very little traffic. Huh?
Yeah, very little traffic, and all of a sudden this car comes, so it's like, okay, so then the car pulls back on the road, he's coming up the mountain. I told my cousin, all right, let's go. I bet you it's this car, this guy. Just get back in the vehicle. If he passes, if he stops, we'll take off.
Let me ask you, do you think it was the property owner? Could it be?
Well, we're not even on a property.
That's no property, huh?
No, it's just along the road. It's 180. It's a highway 180.
Yeah.
It's on a turnout. There's no property. I mean, we're high up on the mountainside. So there's a ranch down below, but that's way down below. I mean, you can't climb from there.
You're like in no way trespassing into other people's property, or therefore them thinking that you're probably trying to trespass into their property.
Mid-South Sasquatch, welcome. Wonder Pup, welcome. So yeah, so
that's
so it
strange,
comes and I'm trying to turn on the vehicle and it wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't do anything. And I tell my cousin, hey, the vehicle doesn't want to turn on. It doesn't do anything. And we're all tripping out. It's like, and then I finally noticed that the shifter was in neutral. But then my cousin told me that I had put the parking brake. So okay, I had put the parking brake, but the shifter was on neutral. And it's like, dude, I never do that. I never put the vehicle in neutral. So we're thinking, we're talking about this the other day, and it's like, dude, I don't. Do you think something happened to us? Because we didn't. I don't remember. We didn't.
Yeah.
I remember it was 10:30. I think we got home about, I don't know, close to about a little bit after 11:30. We were only out there for about an hour, but the shifter was like, it was in neutral, and that's why the truck wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't, even the lights wouldn't turn on. Nothing. It wouldn't turn. Nothing would come on until I put it in park, and then it
did its thing.
yeah, and then the car passed by real slow, passed by us, real slow, and it went up the hill. But and again, I couldn't see what was in there. I know it was you can see the outline of the gentleman.
Do you remember what type of car?
It was like an old car, like an '80s car, like an old '80s car, white car.
White car.
And it didn't have tinted windows because I can see.
Right.
I can see through it, but like I tell you, the driver, I couldn't see his face. I couldn't see. I could just see the outline of him, and he was just driving.
Do you know if he was wearing glasses?
I couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell.
I just know he was wearing a hat. He was wearing like a coat, and he was just driving. Like it was an old '80s car, like an old '80s type car, and it was a white one. But it was just that whole incident was just weird. So I don't know if you guys have seen those flashing white lights that I'm talking about. It only lasts for maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and then it disappears.
I know. The last time we were out there at Gabe's place, we were flashing our flashlight at it, and it would respond. If we would do 2 flashes, it would do 2 flashes back. But then it would disappear and appear at a different area. So whatever was flashing its lights back at us would travel a great distance and then wait for our respawn and then respond back. That was very strange. And
we discovered a code.
So I mean, after that, I think we did a little research and we found out that we're not supposed to be flashing our lights because we run the risk of getting abducted, and
right.
That's the last thing we want.
Yep.
You gotta show up to work the next day.
Yep.
Try explaining that to the supervisor.
So then, so what else we got?
I don't know. I mean, I know we did a little brainstorming as to what it is that we wanted to talk to today. I think we need to sit down in the bunker and talk about, what's going on here locally and do a little more investigating. I would really like to talk to the gentleman that opted not to go into the field that day because they saw something, they were spooked.
Hello,
and
Ryan.
They didn't feel safe going in there. And I mean,
they saw
they
something.
get their feedback and then see what we could come up with, and we'll go head back out there. I mean, either you and I or a bigger group, and just investigate and see what we get. I mean, it'd be interesting to get some cast of some footprints, pictures, video. I mean, like I told you when we were doing our brainstorming yesterday. I mean, it'd be so awesome to carry a GoPro on your head all day, because that would give you evidence of the stuff that we see up in the sky and proof, so that people don't think that, oh, we're just making stuff up so we could go live. I mean, that's the last thing we would like to go live and give false information or just come up with a story so that we could get views. I mean, we do this because we really enjoy it, and there is definitely strange things up in the sky here. Strange encounters here locally as well. So I mean, we do it for the people here so that you could reach out to us and we'll listen. I mean, like we said before, if you'd like, contact us. We'll meet with you. We'll hear your story, and with your permission, I mean, we'll talk about it on our show and investigate the area. Of course, for us, safety has always been our number one priority. Sometimes I know Cryptid has a little bit of downtime, and he finds himself going out and investigating a certain area by himself. I appreciate that because I understand it's not easy going out there to these places where there's activity, and sometimes our passion, our determination to get something on film sometimes gets the best of us, and we go out there by ourselves. And like I was telling them, dude, safety first. I mean, we enjoy doing this. We've been enjoying this. We've gotten some good feedback and some bad feedback too, and we'll take it. We'll find out what it is that we need to improve on and take it from there.
Yeah,
and it's a learning opportunity.
Yeah, we're not professionals.
No, bunch of amateurs.
We don't claim to be professionals.
No.
So we're out there just doing our thing. We have a way of doing it. Other groups have their way of doing it. That's perfectly fine with us.
Yeah.
We don't put anybody else down.
No, heck no.
Everybody's different. We have our own ways, and that's cool. We learn from each other.
Yeah, we do.
So Alan likes to hat.
I know, right? My son would try to take it away from me.
So then, I just got another story from Snake Road. I think I told you.
Oh yeah, you brought it up. But I already told you, I'm not going to Snake Road.
We gotta go, man. We gotta go see. There's a blue light.
The only way I'll go up there is if I have my corn dog wrapped in bacon, dude.
Oh, man.
My corn dog, my hot dog.
Remember the rocks with 2 X's?
That's another good one.
So I had another after the live stream. I got a couple of reports. People were telling me more stories about Snake Road, and it almost one of the stories sounds like it was like a Sasquatch because he was coming home from Fresno, passing through Sanger, going near Snake Road, but it was like the road next. It was one over, which is I think Jim Savage Road, and he had stopped. And this was at 1 a.m. He had stopped really quick to get something in the car, and something started throwing pebbles at his window. Like it grabbed it from the side of the road and started throwing pebbles, and he said, "What?" So he just took off. He punched it and took off. So something was throwing pebbles at his window. And then I got another story recently about I guess there was an incident. This lady had gone through Snake Road, and she was going on, how it's curvy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was at night, I believe, and this lady, it was a lady driving, and she noticed. And she was going, I guess, pretty. I don't think she was going very. I guess she was going pretty fast.
I don't think it could go very fast.
You can't go very fast because she was going kind of fast. And on one of these corners, there was a lady in the middle of the road. And the lady that was driving saw her at the last minute and swerved. And I guess she flipped the vehicle. Luckily, I think she said that she was okay. But when she got out of the vehicle to look back, that lady wasn't there anymore.
Look at that, man. Wow. I'm telling you, Snake Road.
So
you got to go back, take your cousin, check it out, because I will not go there. It just gave me a weird feeling, a weird vibe, and I do not want to go through that again. Believe me, I felt it, I experienced it. It wasn't a good experience for me. I don't want to go through that again. I really don't. That was creepy. Unless I could take my tinfoil hat.
Oh.
Maybe. I'll go.
Yeah, maybe it'll attract them faster.
Yeah, no go. I'm out.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we're 55 5 minutes into it.
You guys have any questions in the chat? Have you heard about the guy in the white horse that shows up next to the car when it's foggy? No, I have never heard of that. Oh, you know, the guy in the white horse, huh? That's the first time I hear about that. On Snake Road, huh? That would be something.
Oh no.
That would be. Yeah. I'm out. Anything Snake Road, I'm out. I mean, that was crazy. I really wouldn't want to go through that again. If I experience that elsewhere, I'm okay, and I'll be like, that's another place I won't go. Like if we go up to the Pictograph Mountain, and something like that happens to me again, I'm out. I'll wait for you guys in the car. I'll make the quesadillas while you guys are up there. Once you guys come down, quesadillas already made.
Yeah. It disappears in front of you, huh? Wow. That's a new one. We gotta go back out there. Well, Jesus won't join us, but we gotta go back out there. Maybe Adolf, Ghost Wolf, Alan, you guys can go out there. Check that out.
So, the white horse sounds similar to the story of the lady.
Yeah, you can say that.
The lady in the middle of the road.
Lady, yeah, the Weeping Lady by Yorona. And then you got the White Sasquatch. So,
Yeah, the white Sasquatch.
I don't know.
That's been spotted here in Wheaton.
Read me. Where?
At the bridge.
Whoa. Is
Forever
it the
Conscious Research, welcome. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Well, then there was another story about, this was a while back though, about the cops chasing the
Oh
A
yeah.
UFO down Blackjack?
UFO down along the Kings River.
Yeah, there's that one. We should look into that one a little bit more.
That was years
We'll
ago.
talk, and we'll talk about that one
That
later.
was years back. I heard the story, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Our story with the eggs, the rocks. Remember that one?
Yeah. We got a lot of stories that we could talk about for the next show.
Yeah.
Not a bad start. Second live stream. I like
Yeah.
it.
We used to talk about the rand. The arbitration.
Okay,
Nah, Brown
Next time.
Dwarf, I'll pass on that.
what happened? Brown dwarf. In there. Tacos? Oh, Snapple.
No, I pass on that. Thanks.
Oh, no.
So if you guys don't have any questions, I think we're gonna end it off. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I hope you guys liked it. Well, we're working on some more videos. I still have another video coming out on the Pictograph Mountain. We're gonna try to go out there again pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look around for prints. We'll get some more pictures, get some more footage.
Hopefully get an interview or not an interview.
Well,
but
yeah,
at
I'm
least
hoping.
there's-
Yeah, I'm hoping that
Yes.
my dad can find these gentlemen, and we can talk to them.
Yeah.
I want to know what they.
what it is that they saw.
Yeah, exactly. And Heiko, I don't know if you're still here. Heiko 2004. She saw the video and she sent me pictures of what she thinks is a. She sees something in the videos,
Mhm.
like a gray creature. So I gotta go look over those pictures that she sent. So she said it's in the video. There's something there, and I was emailing her back and forth just before the live, and it's funny that she said a gray creature because the video that we did on the Thunderbird and Strange Creature video, it's the opposite side of that mountain, and that's where my brother had seen coming down from the hills. He saw a gray creature jump from one side of the road to the other side of the road. So it jumped the road, and from one side to the other, and in the field, it went into the grass field on the other side of the road in one jump. And it was a gray. He said he thought it was a dog,
Mhm.
but then when he saw it jump, he said, "Wait a minute, it's not a
not a
dog
dog.
yet. It's something big."
Yeah.
And he slowed down, and I explained it in that video, but he slowed down, and you can see the trail going towards the mountain, towards Pictograph Mountain.
Yeah.
So, and then my grandparents had an encounter one night coming out of Orange Cove and heading to Dinuba, and they were going down South Avenue, which is down, it's almost down that mountain. If you take it, you almost hit that road. So it's all in that area. But anyways, my grandparents told me that they were going home. It was already dark. My grandma was driving. Again, the similar story as my brother, but this time my grandparents said that this gray, they said it was like a dog, looked like a dog, but it was all gray, and it jumped over the hood of the car when they were passing by. It jumped from the side of the road over the hood of the car onto the other side of the road. So those are two stories that are similar, and it was heading towards that way, that mountain where. So I don't know.
Pictograph.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know. So there's,
Well, maybe our next live stream should be about the Pictograph Mountain, because I mean there's a lot of good pictures that
there's
we took.
rock formations that are kind of
Strange.
yeah, strange. And,
Funny stories too.
yeah, we have some funny stories there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we could talk about that next time.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll plan on that.
Yeah, hopefully we have some more information on that.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, all right, guys, I guess we're gonna call it. Thank you, everybody, for coming in.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming in again. Okay, we'll see ya.
Here, Aiden, you can have it now.